She was 17 the night the Emperor first noticed her. By morning, her whole life had a price on it. Nobody warned her. Nobody could have. Because in that palace, being noticed by the Emperor wasn't a blessing. It was a countdown. He gave her two choices that night. She only really had one. Let's back up. She wasn't born into any of this. She was sold into it, traded like furniture into the palace when she was barely a teenager. Her job was to disappear, carry water, fold linen, stand in corners, and be invisible. And here's the thing. Invisibility was safety. The slaves who got noticed didn't get promoted. They got used. But she had a reason to keep her head down that went deeper than fear. Back in her village, her mother and her younger siblings were surviving on the coin she sent home every month. If she vanished, they didn't just lose her, they lost everything. So she stayed quiet, stayed small, did the work. She thought being invisible was the worst thing that could happen to her. She was wrong. One afternoon, she's carrying a tray through the private quarters. Wrong hallway, wrong time, and the Emperor sees her. Just for a second, that's all it takes. Within a week, she's not hauling water anymore. She's been reassigned. Better robes, better food, a room that isn't shared with 6 other girls. The other slaves start whispering the moment she walks past, because they've seen this before. He starts sending for her, private conversations, small gifts, nothing that would raise questions, just enough to make her feel like maybe, somehow, she'd become someone who mattered. He tells her she's different from the others, that he sees something in her nobody else does. And here's the part that makes this so brutal. She believes him. Of course she does. When you've spent your entire life being furniture, and suddenly the most powerful man in the empire is looking at you like you're a person, that's not manipulation to a 17-year-old. That feels like being saved. But mate, here's the cold truth sitting underneath all of it. He'd said almost the exact same words to a dozen women before her. The night finally comes. She's brought to his chambers, dressed in something she didn't choose, telling herself this is the beginning of something real. It wasn't the beginning of anything. It was the end. Because by sunrise, the warmth is gone. The attention is gone. The man who spent weeks making her feel chosen won't even look at her. She thought she was chosen. She was just next.
And then comes the part nobody warned her about. He doesn't just discard her. He makes sure she can never say a word. He tells her, calmly, almost bored, that if she ever speaks about that night to anyone, he will have her accused of theft or worse. And in that empire, an accusation from the Emperor doesn't go to trial. It goes straight to the ravine outside the palace walls, where the bodies of criminals are thrown and never spoken of again. Think about the position she's in for a second. She has no witnesses, no court that would ever take her word over his, no family with power, no name that means anything. If she screams the truth from the palace gates tomorrow, she doesn't get justice, she gets erased. And if she stays silent and stays in that palace, she has to keep serving the man who did this to her, knowing he'll do it again to the next girl, and the next, forever, and there's nothing she can do to stop it. 2 choices. She only had one. So she does the only thing left. She starts planning, quietly, carefully, to disappear before he decides to erase her for him. She gets word to her mother, tells her to be ready to move. No explanation given, no time to argue. In the dead of night, her family packs what little they own and slips out past the outer wall, blending into a merchant caravan heading far from the capital. No goodbyes, no confrontation, no justice, just gone. She never tells anyone the real reason they left. Not her siblings, not the neighbors in whatever new town they land in. As far as the world knows, they were just another poor family looking for a fresh start somewhere else. She carried that secret for the rest of her life, because that was the only power she had left. Not the truth, not revenge, just silence and distance, and the safety of never being found again. And somewhere back in that palace, life just continued. Another girl walked past the wrong hallway at the wrong time, and the whole thing started all over again. So yeah, next time someone tells you being chosen by the most powerful person in the room sounds like a dream come true, remember her. Because sometimes surviving isn't about winning.